Mahomes does not do that because he's looking to make plays. He's a mercurial talent that has an incredible belief in himself and in his teammates. And when you give Travis Kelce an extra second, when you gave Marquez Valdez-Scantling an extra second or so, look what happened. And when you look at it from that perspective, there was plenty of times that we saw the Cincinnati Bengals having him run for his life and they were in his face, okay? And so you got to take that into consideration because he's going to look to make plays. And in order to do that, the likelihood is that he's not going to wait or rather get rid of the ball inside of 3 seconds on a bevy of occasions. He's just not going to do that. He's going to try to extend plays. He's going to try to make plays, and that's going to give Fletcher Cox and the rest of the crew an opportunity to get at him. Let's also keep this in mind. Last we saw the Kansas City Chiefs in a Super Bowl. We saw them in that Super Bowl against Tampa Bay. What did we lament? The fact that Patrick Mahomes was running for his damn life the entire game. The Philadelphia Eagles know what it takes. When we talk about the great, we just started off the show, Keyshawn, talking about the great Tom Brady. Well, when he lost those 2 Super Bowls to the New York Giants, why he lose? Because that front four got at him. That's why. Now, obviously, Patrick Mahomes can scramble a little bit better, a lot better, actually, than Tom Brady. And we get all of that. We understand that. But it doesn't negate the fact that if you apply the pressure, and he's running and he's uncomfortable, that's what has to be your game plan. You can't just sit up there and man up and back up in the coverage and give Patrick Mahomes any kind of time. Their whole strategy for success on the defensive side of the ball is going to be predicated on getting in the face of Patrick Mahomes. So I understand what y'all are saying. Don't get me wrong. I'm just simply saying that I don't think that Patrick Mahomes is going to comply. I think he believes in his offensive line this year compared to what he did 2 or 3 years ago. I think he's going to sit up there and he's going to take a little bit more time on a lot of occasions to throw that football. And I think that's going to give the Eagles pass rush an opportunity to get to him. That's just what I suspect.
You do understand in that Super Bowl against Tampa Bay, his protection was Stephen A. Smith, Herm Edwards, and Keyshawn Johnson.
He had no help.
So he's going to be running for his life against a defense that had hit his stride under Todd Bowles. This is a totally different offensive line. This offensive line is actually much better. This is actually one of the best offensive lines he's had in the 5 years that he's been under Andy Reid.
Was Cincinnati able to get at him a little bit? But they in his face.
But here's what I'm going to tell you about that. It's all about the game planning. Remember what Herm said, San Francisco is built just like Philadelphia to a degree. They got edge rushers. They got people that can push the pocket. They got linebackers that can go sideline to sideline and downhill all at the same time. So your game plan is going to predicate and dictate what you do on the offensive side of the ball. You didn't need to do that against Cincinnati. You didn't need to go into the Cincinnati game saying, I need to do quick game. I need to get the ball out quick. And I understand you're most like all of us, we're so enamored with the off-schedule plays that we've seen in his career. But when he needs to, he sits in the pocket. When he needs to, he delivers the football very quickly and on time in rhythm. Everything is not Harlem Globetrotter basketball on the football field. It's just not. Those are splash plays that we see on First Take, we see on Sports Center. But let's look at some of the stuff that he does do like the traditional quarterbacks.
Well, he can play from the pocket. We saw that this week. He was injured, right? And this is why he's the MVP. I mean, the wounded athlete is something to deal with. We've seen Michael Jordan do it. We saw Willis Reed do it. I'm going basketball now for Stephen A. because, he's an expert at that.
Press record and let you guys know first. So won't be long-winded. You only get one super emotional retirement essay, and I used mine up last year. So really thank you guys so much to every single one of you for supporting me, my family, my friends, my teammates, my competitors. I could go on forever. There's too many. Thank you guys for allowing me to live my absolute dream. I wouldn't change a thing. Love you all.
That's amazing. I don't know Tom Brady at all. I've met him a few times, interviewed him a few times, and yet I am choked up watching that for some reason. It's an emotional Tom Brady, and for anyone who was wondering, well, he came back last time, this obviously feels different in every way. So from one Michigan man to another, here's Adam Schefter. Shefty, what can you fill in here? Tom Brady announcing he's retiring.
Well, I think that was a classy send-off. That was an incredible message from Tom Brady himself, and it comes, Greeny, on February 1st, 2023, exactly 1 year to the date that he announced his retirement on February 1st, 2022. One day before Groundhog Day, and we have a version of Groundhog Day, except this time it is actually for real. Tom Brady does plan to stay retired and be retired. And yes, I'm sure there are going to be urges to come play this game in the spring when OTAs are starting or when training camp is getting underway. But the truth of the matter is, he's at a different stage in his life. He's going to be 46 years old next season. He's played for 23 seasons, so he's been a part of the NFL for half his life. And he's now a single dad who is focused on being there for his children at a focal point in their lives. They're on the East Coast. So as much as everybody could say, boy, Tom Brady should go back to San Francisco and replace Brock Purdy. Tom Brady should go to Las Vegas and rejoin Josh McDaniels. As much as those scenarios from a football sense make sense, they do not make sense in the life that Tom Brady needs to, wants to, and has to live as a single father. And so all these factors together, I think, contribute to the fact that he announces his decision this morning, walks away from the game. He'll have to find something else to do to fuel that fire of his, which is always burning. Maybe it is as a broadcaster. He's got a deal waiting to go with Fox. Maybe it's as the greatest nutritionist and mental well-being person in the history of the world. Tom Brady's going to have to pour himself into something else. But he knows now that it's not going to be football. He told the Buccaneers this morning about his decision. He wanted to control the message this time. He wanted to control the narrative. He's done just that with that classy send-off, and we now can say goodbye to the greatest quarterback and the greatest player we've ever seen and begin to get his bus ready for the class of 2028, where he'll join J.J. Watt, amongst others, in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio.
Now, I've said all morning long, Shefty, that I don't want to run through a bunch of statistics today because with Brady you don't need them, but there is one that I am fascinated by. Are you aware there's only one player ever to have both caught a touchdown from and intercepted Tom Brady? Adam Schefter, do you know who that is?
Yeah, I do, Greeny.
Who was it?
You know.
Yes, I do know. But it's funnier when you say it.
Did Hembo give you that question?
It's funnier when you say it. Tell everyone who it is.
Well, it is probably my greatest athletic accomplishment in life. Thank you, Brady.
Flag football on a beach one time. Adam Schefter caught a touchdown from Brady and intercepted Brady. Even Teddy Bruschi didn't do that. So Teddy, again, it's an extraordinary stroke of good fortune for us. You were scheduled to be with us today for the first time in so long as we get this news. There's an enormous audience that's just joining us now here at the top of a new hour. So if you would, as you are now letting this sink in, just what are the first thoughts in your mind as your longtime teammate and close friend announces that he's retiring?
Well, watching the video, I got emotional myself because I just know how hard that was for him to do. Tom Brady is basically saying, I choose not to compete anymore. And for that sort of statement to say that, you know, I'm done, I'm retiring is hard for Tom to say because of the addiction that was the competition, the addiction that was the winning of the Lombardi Trophy and winning multiple championships and over again doing what he could do to win championships. So I know what a hard message that is for him to give. I think as a former teammate, I feel like compelled to say, no, Tom, thank you. Thank you for being the best teammate I ever had. Thank you for being a friend to me, even after I retired, decades after, asking me about my family and being the type of friend that you were for so many years for me and continue to be. So thank you, buddy. I love you, and I know this was a hard day for you, but welcome to retired life. So I guess that's something I want to say there. But I guess Tom Brady, what he just achieved was something that we weren't able to achieve in 2007, and that's perfection. Because his career was absolutely perfect in my eyes. Because he came in as a low-round draft pick, 199th. No one knew about him on the team, and all he did was work for everything that he earned and ended up achieving. He wasn't the betrothed one. He wasn't the number one overall pick that everybody looked to and that you're the man, go do it, you're the leader. No, he had to start at the bottom